Hey guys, it's Andrew here at the Seat Shop doing another installation series video. Today we're going to be working on the 2007 to 13 Toyota Tundras, as well as the 2008 to 13 Toyota Sequoias. These trucks are going to have multiple interiors, leather with perf options. This model has the recliner right here, lumbar support, whatever you want to call it. But the mounting is all going to be the same on this. We're going to show you how to do the driver bottom today. The tops are coming at a later date, so stay tuned for those, but this will be a disassembly and reassembly of the driver bottom. I'm going to do this one on my own today, show you guys that you can do it by yourself, so don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Basic tools needed. We've got hog rings on this one, so some hog ring pliers and hog rings. We'll supply you with the hog rings when you order the cover. We've got a Phillips head screwdriver, flathead for prying, a couple of small pry tools, and a good pair of dikes to cut the hog rings off. Pretty much everything that you need, so we'll get started right now. Get the bottom torn apart. Okay, first things first, we're going to remove the plastic panels on the sides. So we can start with this side. I'll come around here so it's a little easier to see. Control panel side is, it actually wraps around from this all the way to the front. You can disassemble it, but you can keep it all together and it'll come off real nicely. So first things first, we're going to get the switches popped off on the sides. Careful with this, you want to pop them straight off, so I recommend 2 pry tools or 2 screwdrivers so you can pop them at the same time. Just get underneath each one and they will fly right off. Okay, set those aside. Now you're going to have a Phillips head screw in the back. It's going to be tucked right underneath this top lip right here. Go ahead and pull that one off. And if you screw the side pieces where you just remove the 2 plates that adjust the electric seats, there's going to be 2 Phillips heads underneath here too. So we're going to remove those. Kind of tricky to get to, but remove those 2s, and then you're going to have 2 in the front. And if I show you this, underneath the plastic panel there's going to be a black Phillips head right here and one on this side. So go ahead and get you a longer screwdriver and remove those 2. Want to come out. Okay. This side. Okay. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to actually remove the 2 electric control harnesses right here. It's a pinch and pull up top. Bottom piece, if you can see this, I'll show you this right here. This one's a little bit of a different color. It's just going to pinch at the bottom right here and then pull directly out like so. So set this aside. Okay, this side's good. You're going to go to the other side and get the one plastic piece off the side closest to where the seatbelt mounts. Now we're going to do the side closest to the seatbelt. It's going to have a push pin right here that just pops directly out. You've got a Phillips head screw on the back just like the other side, so go ahead and remove that. Okay, once that's off, this is going to come out just like so, and then up and over where the seatbelt is, and set aside. So your plastic panels are off now. Now we can start taking the seat off. Doesn't matter how you start. You can start with the sides, the front, the back. We'll start with the front. A little better angle. Now these seats are a little bit screwy the way they put this together because this does move electrically up and down. So it's kind of free floating in a lot of spaces. First you're going to see 2 L-shaped clips right here on the bottom. Those are going to be pried off with a screwdriver. careful, most of the frames are sharp, so stay away from that with your hands. Just pry with the screwdriver. Just get that off. These are all going to kind of flappy-do right here, and the front's undone. Now, while you have it up, you can see these two L-shaped brackets on the sides as well. They're going to be a lot easier to get to right here. So just take a screwdriver, pop straight down, and pull off. This one is going to be right beside the control panel, so it's kind of cut like this so it can seep down through there. So just get it started with the screwdriver on the front, it'll pop straight off. Put this thing up, and then we'll go to this side piece right here. Once again, screwdriver directly underneath and down. I'll pry right off. Same thing with this side. Get your screwdriver back there. Sometimes they can be a little tricky. Pry straight down and off. Now we'll get the back section. Best thing to do here is either have somebody help you or just kind of lean this thing up like so. You can do pretty much everything with one hand, but be careful. So the top is going to have a flap that comes over and mounts underneath the seat to these white hooks. Remove these two, give you access to remove the bottom piece in the back. Once that's up and out of the way, you can see how the bottom cover comes straight through here and wraps around the frame. This piece is going to be connected to as well, so you have to have a pry tool here. Get up underneath it and just pry it off. Bottom section is going to have two small hooks that go to these parts of the frame underneath. Once again, just grab a screwdriver. Shouldn't take much to pull those two off. Once that's done, you want to take this bottom section and kind of get it ready to be pulled through so it's not going to catch on anything. You know, you can always tuck it in right here just a little bit. That way you can pull from the front and get everything off. So your back's all disconnected. Leave this like so, because we're going to be putting it right back on. And we'll turn this thing around. It should come directly up and off. Okay, you're going to remove the foam as well. Slide the top to the side, and we'll work on doing the bottom. Make sure you have a clean workstation. You don't want to put this down on something that'll scratch it. Always good to blow it all off first. And we're going to show you how to pull this apart. So this is just going to strip off like so. Everything kind of rolls directly off. It's a bit of a funky foam because it's got two separate sections right here. So just grab an edge and roll. Same thing with the back. Just going to roll it. Just roll it backwards. Okay. Once it's all rolled up like so, we can access the hog rings to start pulling them apart. I like to start with the side hog rings on this one. It makes it a lot easier. There is a bar that runs through on the sides and in the middle, and that's what the hog rings are going to attach to on the Tundras. So if you take a side out, pull the ring out, just pull the bar out, it's going to give you access to fold the cover up. A lot easier to work with. So we'll start with one of the sides here. Grab a good pair of dikes, because those hog rings can be tricky. And we're just going to push right here, give yourself access, cut the hog rings. Okay, I'm going to show you once they're done, this bar is going to come directly out. Looks similar to coat hanger. Here's how it looks right here. And this is what tucks in on each side and in the middle of these Tundra seats. So set that aside because you're going to have to reinstall it. Go to the other side. Same thing over here. It's missing a few hog rings from the factory right here. Imagine that. But I'll get them put back on. It's no problem. Okay, same thing here. Bar's going to slide directly out. Doesn't matter if you get these mixed up, they're identical, so it doesn't matter on the sides on those, so just pull them out, set them aside. That's going to give you access to fold it up to get to the center hog rings, right in the middle of the foam. So get it pushed out of the way, and you'll notice there are two hog rings here in the middle. Pop those loose, pull directly off. Now this is going to have the same thing, so get the hog rings pulled out. Don't want to get those scratched on the new foam or on the new, wow. Okay, center section is going to have the same thing. It's going to have a bar that runs through it. Grab one side, pull, just a shorter version. And your cover is out. Now's a good time, if you're not replacing foam with a new one, to go in and get all of the hog rings out of the foam. Never want to leave those. They will work themselves loose sometimes, get up in the leather, cause some scratches. So make sure that everywhere where it mounts, grab them, pull them out. Now on the sides, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections for hog rings on each side. So 2 in the middle, 4 on each side, so you'll have 10 hog rings. We'll supply you with a bag that has plenty of hog rings, more than 10. That way, if you have an issue getting them on the first time, you can play with it a little bit. They are a little bit tricky. Okay, so we got those all out. Normally, if you're not replacing the foam itself with a dealership foam, it's a good idea to take a steamer, anything that you have to steam the foam. If you do so, it's going to puff back up. If your foam's really worn or broken down towards the exit side of the vehicle, it'll puff back up and give you a chance to have the leather sit in the right spot and be full, and not have the wrinkles and the tears that you're going to get from most of the bad foam. These foams on Toyota makes, obviously they make a great vehicle. Their foams are pretty dense, so you shouldn't have as many issues with these. So we're going to turn right around. We're going to reinstall this cover to show you how to install the driver bottom. So we pulled it all apart. We are done now. Now we can start the reassembly process. So get your foam out, get it ready. We're going to start with the center bar. Slide it in the cover and get it ready. Now there's only 2 spots in the middle, so if it's going closer to one side than the other, it doesn't really matter because you're going to hook them right here in the middle. So once that bar's in, not going anywhere, turn the cover over. I like to start with it facing me so I can get a good idea of the center and the levelness of the cover. I'm going to fold it up. It's going to give you this bar right here. Show you, push this down right there, 2 hog rings. Excuse me. So we got our hog ring pliers. Show you the best case scenario here on how to install this. Get it where you want it. Don't push it all the way down in there first. Keep it up right here. Go ahead and get your hog ring started on this. That way you can use the hog ring pliers to push it down in there and get it attached. It's a lot easier that way for your first connection. Same thing with this. Keep it up a little bit. Go ahead and get it locked in at the top. And then you can see it's a lot easier to push down and get it locked in at the bottom. Once those are done, fold it, take a look, make sure that it seems to be level, and then we can insert our side bars. One at a time, that way you still have access to get to the hog rings as you need them. So here's our sleeve right here. Going to slide it in. Once that's in, it's going to be the opposite. You're going to go ahead and fold it down because it kind of has, if you see this, it kind of has an angle to it, if you can see that. So you want to make sure that it kind of folds down and the angle goes down into the foam so it gets a good seat in there. It doesn't matter if you start forward or backwards on these hog rings, just make sure that it's kind of centered and where you want it. So we'll start at the front. And with the hog ring pliers, push down hard. You know, you're gonna install them a couple times and think that they're installed, but they're not. So you really want to push down when you crimp them together so it gets a good seat down there on that wire. So maybe we got 4 on this side. Just work your way to the back. Cool. this side's good. Everything looks good here. Turn around, same thing with the other side. Put your bar in first. A lot of people have been waiting for us to come out with something not domestic. This is only the start. We're going to get into Nissans as well, but the Tundra, I have a Tundra. We have another guy up here with a Tundra, so we love the Toyota products, so we're going to be releasing a lot of those. Our Tundra covers are going to be a spot-on match on the color grain. We've got everything from the sand beige, the black. We've got the red rock interior for you guys to have that unique color. We have the perf and the non-perf on that. It's a beautiful color, so we have those available as well. Call us at 214-710-2565. You can place your order today on those. I'll finish up right here, and you'll be good. So that bar's in. We're going to go ahead and hog ring this into place. We started the front last time, so we'll go ahead and do that over here too. Just fold this up so you have access to it. Once again, with any of our installs, always nice to pull the seat out of the vehicle, put it up on a workbench, give yourself some room to work. It's a lot easier that way. You will have some things to disconnect on the bottom when you're pulling it out of the vehicle. The electric controls, the airbag sensors, things like that, but it's very minimal, so it's very easy to do. Get it out, get it up on a workbench so you can get to it. Okay, so we've got 4 hog rings on each side, 2 in the middle. We're set up. Everything looks good and level, as you guys can see. Now is when we wrap. Now, most of the time you'll hear Brian talking on every one of our covers how important the wrap is on this side to get your hand seated in first, and on all of the foams it is. But the Tundra is different. The reason is it's got these separate sections here, so this has a chance to adjust. So really, just kind of get it rolled over. Do the best you can at tucking it over. Get it rolled over, and I'll show you how to smooth it out once it's rolled over. Okay, normally you have to do a lot more coercing on that, but just get it rolled over. Get this under, like so. Then what you're going to do is this. This piece is separate. So you're going to grab the leather right here. Be careful with the leather. You're not pulling hard. And you're pushing down the foam to get it to seat in between here. You really want that piece tight. Same thing on this side. You're going to take the foam, grab the leather, and push. Want that to be really, really tight into there. And if we turn it over, we can see what we're working with here. So as you can tell, just by that, smoothed it out perfectly. Got no lines here. This is tucked in nicely. Make sure you keep pushing in here to make sure that is tucked on both sides. And that looks awesome. So, and this is our cover that we created, top, bottom, and headrest. Just for those who are wondering, I said that earlier that the factory foam, but we've had this on and off a dozen times for R&D. So nothing mounts on the bottom for now. Right here, this hole right here is your ventilated system for your heat and air condition. You're going to have a hole in the frame right here, so that's going to seat right there, no problem. Everything stays disassembled here until we put it back into the frame. So now it's time to do so. Get your frame slid over. Okay, exact same way as it came off, we're going to go back end first. Go ahead and make sure, pull through. Give it a little bump so it seats into here. And we'll turn it around, we'll get the back mounted first. Same thing as before. Go ahead and lift up. Get your flap out of the way. You'll notice here where you pulled it through, or where you were pushing it through, that way it's all good to go. This is going to go under this wire right here. This one will do under this wire as well. And it's going to mount right back here on the little part of the frame right underneath. Those you don't have to pull too tight. This piece right here is going to clip right back into this bracket. And then since we're done with the back section right here, we'll go ahead and get this wrapped around as well. Little white tabs underneath the seat. That's all there is to it. And we're going to work our way to the front. So we'll start with the sides. Okay, this piece is going to pull directly over the seatbelt hole mount. Okay, so with these clips, if you can see them, they're going to rotate under themselves and sit up underneath. So you're rolling the side of the cover over to mount it underneath. See if I can turn this up to show you guys a better angle of it. Okay. So you're going to want to push down here on the foam so you give yourself plenty of room. This will be underneath there. So it's going to roll underneath itself and underneath the frame. And you're going to hear it clip. When it snaps, it's good. This piece on the side does not have that. It's just a direct mount right here. Just an L bracket, pops right on. Turn to the other side. And let's see if you guys can see this too. Okay, same thing over here. You have this bracket that's going to, or this L-shaped bracket that's going to roll underneath itself. So give yourself a good push down at the top. Roll it under. And kind of use your thumb to kind of coerce it into place. Once again, you heard the snap. Once you hear the snap, you're good on there. Front clip, remember this one's going to mount on the side of the control panel right here. Sorry, let's see if I can see that better. So it's cut out right here just to go underneath. Get it started, and then just with your thumb, go ahead and push it in. Maybe a little tricky just because you can't get to much, but it'll pop right on. You can slide it in from the front if you'd like, just like so. And this piece is just going to sit. What I like to do is just tuck it underneath right here. Just barely tuck it underneath the foam. It won't go anywhere because you're going to have your plastic control panel piece covering it up. Okay, our sides are done, our back's done. We're going to get the front done. Now there's probably 15 different ways of putting the front together because it's so strange the way that this was all created. So here's what we're going to do. These pieces are going to tuck under like so. This is your only mount right here, two L-shaped brackets. These pieces are going to go underneath, if you can see this, underneath this bar that's going to be moving for your leg support. So we're going to tuck it under. Same with this side. Tuck it under. Once it's tucked, these pieces are going to go and mount right here on the front frame rail. L-shaped brackets as well, just push directly in. And then we're just going to tuck that underneath. Okay. Once those are on, you are mounted side, back, and front. This piece still has room to move up and down, and the sides are tight. Go ahead and retuck in here if you need to, just to pull out any extra slack that's in these lines, but there shouldn't be because our covers are made 100% like the factory, so you shouldn't have any issues with that at all. As you can see by looking straight at it, there's no wrinkles. It is a perfect fit all the way back through the perf area and on the sides, so it's an awesome cover. So let's go ahead and get the plastic pieces put back on and assembled. Start with this side. Now, this is pre-cut because this was one we did earlier for R&D, but there is a hole right here where, if you remember, this push tab is going to go through. So you're going to have a small little push tab right here, if you can see. So go ahead and trim out that hole. You can really reach underneath and kind of get an idea where the hole is to cut it. You can do it with a razor blade, you can do it with a pair of scissors, it doesn't matter. It's going to be covered up anyways by the push tab. So remember, this is going to go on the inside of the seatbelt. And you're going to have to move this top up a little bit and out of the way to get this back piece to seat in. Once it does, you're good there. And you're going to have push tab in right there. All right, so after that piece is on, pushed in right here, connected right here at the top. You're going to have a Phillips head screw going in the back piece. Just move this flap over a little bit, and you can access it. Okay, once that's done, we're going to move over to the other side. Okay, and we'll go to the other side and get the control panel pieces put back together. Okay, and take this full piece again, get it started in the front. Just get it kind of laying here, that way you can connect your wiring first. Two tabs right here. Those are clipped in. Once the two wires are connected, we're going to push this through. Let's go ahead and get the front done first, then we can concentrate on this side. So lay the seat on its back. Now this section right here is cut out to U-shape so it can go straight through the mechanism that moves this seat up and down. It'll also hold the clips underneath into place, so get that kind of set right there. These are going to be your two longer black screws, and they're kind of tough. You need a long screwdriver to get to them. Go ahead and get it started first if you'd like, because I don't have a magnetic screwdriver with me right now. All right, one on each side. It's important to get these pushed in really good because it's going to hold that whole front piece into place. So torque it down nicely, and then you can come around and get the side piece done. So if you notice your front's good, this piece has to go directly in between your control panel here. All I like to do is get it all clipped in first, and then we'll work on the control panel. So once those are in, go ahead and pop this into place right here. You got a Phillips head on the back. Once that's tight. Now that the back piece is in, we're going to go over here to the control panel side. Remember, we took out two Phillips head screws on this side. They're the two chrome screws. We'll make sure that these go back in. That way it holds it in nice and tight and allows you to still operate the panels, or the controls. So we're going to go ahead and get these two started. One right here, one right here. Okay. Once those are in, you're going to have a piece to pop in at the top. The square part right here, if you see, there's a round circle and a square part. The square part's going to go up towards the top. So just get it directly into place, push directly in. You'll hear it snap into place. Make sure that it moves back and forth without sticking. Side panels, universal, doesn't matter which way it goes. Just get it directly into place, pop in. Make sure that moves back and forth without sticking as well. So our control panel's hooked back up, everything's back into place. Guys, you guys just saw a driver bottom install on a 2007 to 2013 Toyota Tundra and an 08 to 13 Toyota Sequoia. You're looking maybe 30 minutes once you get everything pulled out of the vehicle, and that's for a novice. So don't worry about doing the install. It's very simple. If you have any questions, you can call me anytime. I'm up here all the time. It's 214-710-2565. Look us up at www.theseatshop.com to order your Tundra seats today or your Sequoia seats today. We appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.